Chairwoman Schakowsky, Ranking Member Rogers, and esteemed members of the subcommittee. For 85 years, the Association of Racing Commissioners International has put forth policies to ensure the safety of horses and an honest, fair race. We wear the white hats, and we are on the front line. Sometimes people listen, sometimes not. Thank you for listening. The bill before you is focused on integrity and uniformity. We cannot support it for a variety of reasons, mostly because it does not address the real problem. The biggest problem in horse racing is dead horses. And while state regulatory changes have helped, more needs to be done by everybody. At-risk horses must be kept off the track, and this cannot be done without identifying and monitoring them throughout their racing career. Efforts underway in the Mid-Atlantic states are helping, but statutory limitations stand in the way of what should be happening everywhere. The regulatory framework has a gaping hole: horses that are not under the jurisdiction of a state commission. That must be closed, either by government or by an NGO. The existing breed registries, like the Jockey Club, are uniquely positioned as every state requires racehorses be registered with them. They can be the NGO authorities regulating the care, breeding, and management of horses before being entered in a race or brought to the track. That's the point at which they come under the jurisdiction of the states. As guardians of their breeds, it is not inconsistent for them to impose requirements to protect the health of these horses so that they are suitable to race. Last summer, the ARCI board appealed to the Jockey Club to require the submission of all vet records, including medical diagnosis, treatments, and procedures so their technology can identify horses in need of increased monitoring. We also proposed out-of-competition equine suitability testing and exams to red flag horses so a track or regulatory vet would have the entire picture to determine whether the horse should be allowed to race. Somebody needs to do this who has extensive equine welfare expertise, not the entity proposed in the bill. Congress can designate an agency or NGO to be empowered and require the registration to do this if the breed registries opt not to do this under the existing position, special position they currently have uniformly in every racing state. Every day this is not done, another horse is potentially at risk. The deaths in California underscore the crisis. Immediate and sweeping action is needed. It's not about the drugs. It's about what is going on with that horse and why they are being treated. You're not going to get to that by changing a drug rule here or who gets to make the doping rules there. That's why we believe this bill is inadequate. An independent system to make rules, enforce them, and hear cases is already in place. You don't need to create a new one. You can achieve uniformity without creating a new bureaucracy by putting one sentence in statute to incorporate the ARCI model rules of racing by reference. As to integrity, doping, and cheating, this is a concern of all sports. Some say our labs are not good, others say they're too good because we detect minute levels of things in the environment. Well, you can't have it both ways. Our lab results are comparable with those of the WADA and USADA labs in human sport. Does that mean the labs catch everything? No. Lance Armstrong got past the WADA-USADA labs over 300 times before an informant pointed the way. Cheaters exist. This bill's not going to change that. Please know that we are never satisfied and continually strive to do better, as the New York lab again proved last week when it was the first in equine or human sport worldwide to identify and confirm the use of an exotic blood and gene doping agent, IOX2. Finally, on Lasix. We do not believe equine medication policy should be politicized. Current policy was an industry welfare initiative over 30 years ago to safeguard horses from a condition known as EIPH. It helps the horses that need it and doesn't hurt the horses that don't. This issue is again under review. Last spring, our science advisors were unanimous in reporting that there is nothing linking Lasix to the breakdowns that are killing horses. Time spent on this is time that we are not spending on solving the real problem and developing a bill to close the regulatory gap I've mentioned. You can fix this, and we are here to help you. Thank you for listening.